Hey, this is Tracy Lewis with Stuff and Things. I bought the Taco Fiesta stamp set and finally had an opportunity to use it. Libby and I worked together on these cards, and they are both using inspiration pins to varying degrees. I think I changed up both of them quite a bit from the inspirations. I will have the pins on my blog as well as all of the supplies used. Everything is current. There are 7 layers of fringe. This fringe is actually from Beautiful Balloons, and it saves you from having to cut it up. You could certainly just cut your own fringe. I needed to come up with 7 layers. I wanted to use DSP and not the cardstock because the cardstock that Stampin' Up has, though lovely and heavy, doesn't come across very fringy because of its heavy weight. So I just went through current DSPs that I have, and this is a mix of the Cheerful Daisy, I don't even know what that is called, and then the Planet. Actually, I don't know what either of them are called. The Planet, let's get the catalog out. I guess I was not as prepared for this as I thought. So, let's see what they are called. Stargazing is the Planet paper, and Fresh as a Daisy. And then the particular sheet that I had was the one that I had cut up all of the different sizes of cut. It's like meant to be cut out as a like a memory and more pack type page, and so I was able to use, so the blue here, the lighter blue, the yellow, and the mauve were taken from those little rectangles. And then I took the Stargazing I had broke down. I always break down my DSPs to 6x6, and I ended up cutting them very thin, maybe 3/4 of an inch. So you'll see the green and the orange is from the Stargazing, as well as the magenta with the stars, and then this blue with the bright blue stars are just 3/4 of an inch thick. And I should show you how I decided to cut to use the least amount of materials. So, Beautiful Balloons, has this wonderful large die. And I'm not really sure what the original intent for this is. If they want you, it has all these slits, but either side is closed. So I was able to take 3/4 of an inch strips, both of the, so there's 4 total Planet pages, and 3 of them are from the Fresh as a Daisy. So I just laid out 2 strips of the planets and then centered this over the top. So then I had maybe 1/4 of an inch as a solid strip across the top of each of the 3/4 inch long strips. So I didn't need to use the whole amount. The pin that you'll see is 3 different versions of this card. She did a horizontal, rectangle, using the stitched rectangle dies that are retired. I used the decal. This is the fourth from the smallest that I chose. And then you'll see that I weighted the bottom a little bit because I was going to add the candy behind the Pinata, which was done on the sample card. The change I made was I took the silver assorted loose silver sequins and I went ahead and colored them with blends. So that's an excellent trick, to buy anything that is silver, clear, or white, And in most of the materials that you're going to buy, you can color with your blends. And in the case of trim, you can actually color with your dye inks as well as the blends. So this one was fun. I did some coloring on the Pinata using blends. Colored the candies. I chose the actual stamp is has some confetti, and I just colored using a Stampin' Right marker. I always have my black Stampin' Right marker. You can buy them individually, and I always have these sitting here nearby. So I colored those and then with the black, and then used blends. Then you'll see that my Fiesta, the A is off. This is alphabet a la mode. I did black. I think the pin was done with colored. They pre-colored with sponging and then cut it, but I really wanted to have the contrast. So the A actually ends up a little bit too jaunty of an angle. I did want it to be above the Pinata so that it was obvious that it was an A. And because it was at that angle, it was already glued down, I just decided to take the front piece, and you'll see that it's tilted, but it doesn't really look like it's tilted or that it's a mistake in any way. So I always find a way to work around my mistakes. So that one was an easy one to make work for me. So the second one here is a different pin. I ended up, it was a white on white. The Spectacular was stamped in this is smoky slate, and I changed it to tacos. And then my content, I just picked some different images. I also put faces on all of the images except for the avocado bowl there. And I used the same, I've had this out from a different card, so I used the Wildlife Wonder and broke it up to say sending at the top, then birthday wishes on the bottom. I of course did that while this was smooth, decided after the fact that I wanted to try embossing, so I picked one of the basic embossing folders, and the heat embossing looks great after it was embossed. I did have it as a full background, and I will tell you that I somehow got Versamark on my thumb and touched the basic gray right below here, which then I had to work on that. So it was kind of interesting that both cards had not catastrophic errors, but errors that did make me adjust my plan, and it worked out just fine. I colored using blends. I did some texturing. The yellow that I chose to use was Lemon Lolly, and I went in with the dark. You can take the dark a couple of times across and get it even darker. So I didn't even have to go, I was thinking I might have to end up using the Daffodil Delight, but in the end I thought that the Lemon Lolly worked fine. I did use Real Red for the chili and the tomatoes. I used Granny Apple Green for the avocado and the lettuce, and Pecan Pie for the avocado seed, the bowl, and then light mossy meadow for around for the outside of the avocado. Did faces using black, the basic black, or I mean tuxedo black, and then used, I'm almost out, but I had a little bit of black twine left over from the basics, and it all came out great. Again, I went ahead and used the clear loose sequins, and hub is up. That's why I paused. So I'm gonna say that I am finished. Again, I will have all of the supplies and the Pinterest pins up on my blog. Do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, subscribe. and thanks for watching.